There's nothing quite like the thick, golden, sticky sweetness of honey drizzled over a warm piece of morning toast. But when you eat honey, you aren't just eating a delicious condiment. You are actually eating highly concentrated, liquid sunshine. The incredible, complex web of honey production begins 93 million miles away, with the blazing hot sun radiating solar energy down to Earth. Flowering plants are nature's ultimate solar panels. Through the magic of photosynthesis, they capture that sunlight and convert it directly into sugary energy. But plants have a major problem. They are rooted to the ground. In order to spread their genetics and reproduce, they need delivery workers. To hire these flying delivery workers, plants produce two things: pollen, which contains the plant's genetics, and a sugary liquid bribe called nectar. Enter the worker honeybee. Attracted by bright colors and sweet smells, the bee lands on the flower to collect her payment. As she drinks the sugary nectar, her fuzzy little body accidentally gets completely coated in the flower's powdery pollen. When she flies to the next flower to get more nectar, she drops off some of that pollen, successfully completing the plant's reproduction cycle. But the bee isn't drinking the nectar to digest it. She sucks it up through her long tongue and stores it in a special internal organ called the honey stomach. This honey stomach is completely separate from her regular digestive stomach. It is essentially an internal backpack used exclusively for transporting nectar. Once her internal backpack is completely full, weighing almost as much as the bee herself, she begins the long flight back to the hive. The sheer scale of this operation is mind-blowing. A single hive might contain a staggering 50,000 to 80,000 buzzing bees. To produce just one single pound of honey, those bees must collectively fly over 55,000 miles. That is more than twice the circumference of the Earth. During those 55,000 miles, the hive will land on and individually harvest nectar from over 2 million separate flowers. When our heavy, nectar-filled forager bee finally arrives back at the busy hive, she doesn't make the honey herself. She hands the raw materials off. She literally regurgitates the liquid nectar out of her honey stomach and passes it mouth-to-mouth to a younger, indoor worker called a house bee. Now the crazy chemistry begins. The house bee holds the nectar on her tongue and literally chews it for about half an hour. As she chews, special glands in her head secrete powerful enzymes that mix deeply into the sugary liquid. These enzymes perform chemical wizardry. They break down the complex floral sugars into much simpler, highly digestible sugars. More importantly, the enzymes create a highly acidic environment and produce hydrogen peroxide, completely destroying any harmful bacteria. But the chewed-up nectar is still way too watery. If left alone, it would quickly ferment and spoil. The house bee carefully spits this processed nectar into a perfectly shaped, hexagonal wax cell within the honeycomb. To remove the water, thousands of bees coordinate to rapidly fan their wings, turning the inside of the hive into a massive, sweltering wind tunnel. This intense artificial breeze evaporates the water out of the nectar, thickening it into a sticky, heavy syrup. Once the water content drops below exactly 18%, the honey is officially ripe and chemically stabilized. The bees then place an airtight wax seal over the top of the hexagonal cell, locking the liquid sunshine safely inside for the future. Because of its low water content and high acidity, sealed honey is a magical substance that literally never expires or goes bad. Archaeologists excavating ancient Egyptian tombs have actually found pots of honey that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly safe to eat. Why do bees go through all this immense effort? Because winter is coming. When the snow falls, the flowers die and the nectar completely disappears. The hive survives the freezing, barren winter. By strictly eating the massive reserves of high-energy honey they stockpiled all summer long. But bees aren't the only ones who know how incredible this food is. Bears, raccoons, badgers, and humans will risk painful stings to steal it. In all of nature, there is absolutely no equal source of dense, shelf-stable, sweet energy. It is a sobering thought. A single worker bee will work her entire, exhausting life to produce less than 1/12 of a single teaspoon of honey. But together, unified as a hive of 50,000 sisters, they generate enough food to defy the freezing winter and ensure the survival of their species. So the next time you drizzle that golden syrup over your toast, remember, you are eating the lifelong labor of thousands of bees, mixed with pure, liquid sunshine.